Hi, the purpose of this video is to create an appetite for people that already know how to sew, that already know how to quilt, to start machine quilting on their domestic machine. So we're going to touch just some highlights. To start off with, get your own little scratch pad out and piece of paper, and you doodle. You get a pen, pencil, whatever you write with, and you just start doodling. And do loops, and if you look up closely, you can see the loops and twirls. Think of the letter E. Think of a mushroom, up and down mushroom. You can do the bottom half of the letter 8. Then you can go and do another loop and loop. Some people like to do L's. That's not one that I've used a lot, but it's whatever you feel comfortable with. And you continue to meander around. If this seems a little awkward, what you might want to do is put some dots on a piece of paper so that you kind of keep your spacing more even, and then try going around the dots. You could also use grid paper if you wanted to practice. Practice, practice, practice. It creates the muscle memory that you will need for your quilting. How many loops you do and how many swirls will depend on the pattern that you're working with. I would recommend using a blank piece of fabric to start off with, or perhaps a panel that you don't mind. Well, you haven't spent months creating a beautiful design only to ruin it through poor quilting. Okay, so it's just a way to get started. I've prepared some scrap pieces here. One of them is going to be the free motion beginning, entry level. The other one's going to be more immediate, more advanced. Both of these are going to end up being a pillow. This will be the front and this will be the back. And inside I have a piece of scrap fabric, because it doesn't matter, the pillow is going to be sewn together, so you won't even see this side. I have put scrap batting in. I'm going to spritz it. Now, if you want to use a basting stitch because you don't want the spray, go for it. If you want to put pins, that's fine. I never used the pins. The basting thread itself worked, except I kept getting my pressure foot kept getting caught underneath the thread, so I went back to this. Okay, this one here I've marked using a water-soluble pen. I'm going to take it over to my machine. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the doodle pad. I'm going to do it with my sample pillow. You will have to use your machine and drop the foot feed. Each machine is different, so I've already prepared my machine. I'm using the gloves, the garden gloves, to help me grip the fabric. I went ahead and put a few patterns on there if I choose to use them. I can always, if I don't want to use them, I can always just spritz them away with some water. Now I'm going to stop and get rid of this string. Okay, I've started with the loops. I'm going to continue. I chose to use a dark colored fabric on the light so that it shows up for the purpose of education and illustration. Now I put that little star there, but I'm going to make one of my own. When I was a kid, that's something I like to do, is to do the star. And so you can add that in your quilting. One thing that I have learned though, it depends on my temperament and what I'm sewing. I'm going to stop it here. I may want to adjust the speed to go a little faster. Notice that my stitching length is really long, so that means I should be moving the fabric faster. Here's an E. Here's an L. You can do whatever you feel comfortable with. If you say this is too fast, I need to adjust my fabric, you stop it. I'm using the button instead of the foot feed. You may want to use a foot feed. You may feel more control. Okay, here's a heart. I've pre-drawn it, so I'm just going to go over it. This will take some of the guesswork out of trying to add in shapes. You could write someone's name in here if you chose to. Maybe it's a happy birthday, or secretly hide their name in the pattern somewhere. I like the loop-de-loops because they allow me to move and change and flow and go in a different direction. Right now we're not having to compete with a lot of design in squares. We're just simply moving around. You want to feel this rolling sensation, whatever helps you be calm inside, whether it's music, whether it's listening to a book or movie. You can put something on in the background and it will help you stay there for hours. Because if you have a very large quilt, you're going to have to do it in segments.